Hello everyone and welcome to another match of Hitman Bingo 2, still on this opening Tuesday. I think it's now the third match, still winners bracket round 1 between TK47 and Nezuko Chan. Admin for this match, as always, at least for today, is Chris X3, who is now also my co-caster. Welcome.
Hello, hello. It's a lovely little stinger animation that we've got going on now.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we can showcase it because there was sadly no match an hour ago, but Kanta did finish it just 2-3 hours ago, and really nice to see all hyped here, hyped for this tournament, which just getting started, of course.
Yeah, so 47 Takas versus Nezuko Chan, huh? We're having a minute.
Yeah, I'm on mic this time.
Nezuko has
webcam.
audio or microphone, which I really appreciate as third-party viewer, but as a caster I need to mute him and instead listen to TK. Nezuko started with fiber wire there, so I needed to give out a quick ping there before mentioning it.
It's kind of funny that although he's technically breaking the rules, he's also just putting himself at a distinct disadvantage by doing that.
Yeah, I don't think it's never said out loud, but I guess if someone were to accidentally do what Nezuko does right now, he's just going for a full run, it seems. I don't think he would disallow anything, right?
I guess it really only matters now on some of the maps that we've added, like collecting fiber wires as tiles. So as long as they didn't like break that or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully we'll see the ping. I'm not sure about TK47's loadout, but the Tunisian is in already. And
yeah, and for fun, would you like to read the whole board off for us?
yes, but I was hoping for all day that someone would ask me to do that. Our favorite is in there in number 24, Pacify the Guard in the Voltaire suite.
Let's go.
I do hope that will happen. Also, it's kind of close to the Poison Dahlia's drink, so...
I don't even think I would do it with the timings being different from when I started Tech Crew. But obviously you can start auction, and it's pretty easy to just do that once you're up here. It's one of two, I guess, approaches that we've seen for the targets, for the most part, being terminal velocity versus just shooting this chandelier above Dahlia as TK47's done already.
Yeah, quick start there, and this is suspicious action. And yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to get away with that.
There are not enough coins on the map to turn and run around.
Yeah, no tiles yet. TK early restart. We see him grab Dahlia's lethal poison, obviously, for the Helmut mission story that she carries on her. And then since she's dead, nothing to worry about. And TK's there. So going for either column 3 or row 5 there, we'd have to guess.
Yeah, it's the nicest but also the hardest part, trying to guess with very limited action. Nezuko is approaching the Voltaire Guard with one screwdriver.
I suppose it does also help having become an auction staff in the bottom right, so if you do want to poison the drink, you're kind of killing two birds there. Nezuko's going to figure out here that this guard does not care about anything. Oh, he finally saw the coin.
Oh, but for what? It was the auction staff, not the auction staff we were looking for, but another one. Just going in there and running around.
If I'm not mistaken, I think auction staff is trespassing in that room, but since they're a non-player, it doesn't really count.
Yeah. So this is Lockout, we didn't talk about it a lot, and I think I even started mentioning which rows or lines would be good. Not completely throw that out of the window. This is Lockout, and Nezuko with a restart already, so the Voltaire suite is a legitimately played tile, but it has to go half claimed now, which I'm sure Nezuko is aware of. Of course, it's going to make it a bit challenging first Lockout match of these players.
TK has it here, at least for now, so as long as he doesn't replan, Nezuko's kind of lost that one at this point. Hopefully he is aware of that.
Oh, I was completely wrong about the colors, because Nezuko claimed it. Nezuko did the action first, but didn't claim the tile. Ah,
Oh, well, he ripped anyways. So far, only one tile has been claimed. I also did not realize this was lockout. Well, I mean, I did because I made the round, but I forgot about that until you just mentioned
we
it.
just so
So
confidently went into bottom row, third column for nothing. And it's TK47 trying to dodge this.
oh,
Ah,
and then runs right in front of him instead of to the side. Yeah, he does hollow out that tile there, and there's still a lot of top floor tiles up for grabs here. You can see right around there you've got the remote explosive, you've got Dahlia's drink, you've got of course the auction staff, probably a couple others. So Nezuko definitely has some room to work with up here.
yeah, I think that's about fire alarms always. It's an option on all floors, and if Dahlia is taking care of an accident or killed and hidden, which is probably the case for Nezuko, then I think it's not wrong to claim that tile, but only one so far, and it is now currently hollowed out. Quick answer for Effie. Lockout Bingo is the same 25 tile bingo shenanigans, but one tile can only be claimed by one person, and you can go for any tiles. You just need to collect 10 of them in the same run, instead of the 2 lines of the non-lockout bingo.
Nezuko is making all efforts to hide this body, which, if Dahlia will be killed in an accident, could be very important because a lot of times it triggers like a soft panic when they find Dahlia's body. So a lot of the time you could either end up with somebody finding the body, or once they go to drag it, you could have someone find that as well.
Yeah, for a moment I imagined it could be something similar to a poison kill for Dahlia, but she's the only one with the lethal pills on this map, so only emetic way could be poisoned.
So we're seeing both players going for sinks right now, and that's about all I can decipher. TK's been collecting a bunch of screwdrivers, so just one more on that one, and there are tons on this map.
TK is already close to the remote explosive now, just a couple enforcers to dodge, but he might be thinking about another screwdriver. Which he is, and he can pick it up. I thought it's a challenging tile, but are the colors reversed? Because the tile was claimed by blue right when TK got the third screwdriver.
Maybe I can look, but could
I was
Nezuko just claim? Does Nezuko have 3 screwdrivers? I don't know, because he just claimed the sushi.
TK has the
And
three screwdrivers, and I've never seen Nezuko claim one.
I guess I could look back in the VOD, but obviously I can't see anything in his inventory because the fire extinguisher is overriding everything.
Yeah, and Nezuko is not exactly sure where to go next. And now picking up the busts, which is not a tile, but just shows how it's difficult to keep track of inventory. Could very easily be just a coincidence. I just found it really strange that TK got the third.
Well, in the VOD, I see him grab one and then claim it, but I can't because he's got this fire extinguisher. I'd have to look further back.
Hopefully we will know more when we get there. TK definitely has the 3. But then it'll be interesting after. 3 tiles to 2 for TK. Both of them did the fireworks remote already grabbed. The outline persists on the board because for lockout there is no requirement, or there is no penalty in one sense to restart. You lose your tiles, but it's still in your inventory, so the other player can't claim it against you, from you.
I hope you're admitting the match as it's happening right now, because I'm looking at screwdrivers right now.
Nezuko got sinks, which I think do add up to 3, with at least 2
Yeah,
in this bathroom.
I saw those earlier, yeah. You got the one by the tech crew start.
Good question about the fireworks remote. I didn't even know if that's a tile. I just know that both of them collected it, and TK didn't claim it. Nezuko now claims it. Speedboat key is definitely true there for 5 tiles each. It's just a shame on TK's side because he could be on more tiles if Nezuko wasn't so close there on collecting them. Any radio on Paris if we get there. TK becomes Palace Staff, which is itself not a tile, but he can blend in as that, so that will be the next red tile in the 3rd row. Nezuko will examine the stage schedule, and that's a nice confirmation that his stream delay isn't extraordinarily long. Happens almost at the same time as the action on the map, 5 to 6.
Yeah, I've watched it back twice now, like the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure he only collected. Oh my god, he just showed it. I'm pretty sure he only had 2 at the time.
And Nezuko, however, is definitely did not trigger the fireworks because he had that in the inventory. And I'm pretty sure that's only the case when the fireworks have not been triggered, so that's a false claim for Nezuko.
Yeah, it's the same as detonators, they just disappear.
Staff has been interacted with, as well as the master key card has been taken, but Palace master key. I don't see that as a tile though. And Nezuko is now claiming auction staff, which I guess is fair. He did become one minutes ago. It's a more chaotic way to do this.
My sanity is already fading.
Yeah, we've had one easy to follow match, and then my match, which you can decide if it was easy or not.
Well, there were 2 players in the match, and I definitely trusted one of them. So let me. I'm doing inventory investigation right now.
Sounds good. I think before Nezuko finishes, though, it feels like the fireworks.
Yeah.
It's been just too big of a delay to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I can do that right now.
Appreciate it.
Alright, let us unclaim fireworks.
Which I guess gives the chance for TK. I mean, what are the chances if you see that tile? And those are free for the taking. TK would be on 9 because he definitely did trigger it a while ago. And
yeah, I was saying the same sort of thing, at least in my head, when I was watching your match, and I had to unclaim a tile for Maddie, and I was like, well, what's the chance he actually even notices that it's open again?
yeah, it was brutal for me, and I was beaten to the punch on a few tiles, and I could never see it in advance. And look at that, TK now triggers the fireworks. He might not have known that it was claimed by Nezuko for the last 5 minutes, but now it works perfectly. And that's actually his 10th tile. Nezuko on 9 with both targets still up. It's not because of the fireworks, it's not because of one tile failing to claim or claim wrongly. TK47 takes a convincing parry spin. Yeah, I think that's the main issue there. Oh, Nezuko gets through the frisk there with some panic, but it must have been correct the fireworks remote instead of trigger in Nezuko's mind, and that made the confusion.
Alright, let me see here. We'll accept that, although I didn't see a lot of it. I trust you more than I trust myself, so...
The only ones I didn't specifically see was the baton and poisoning Sato's glass. But those are tiles which you don't do by accident. Voltaire Sweet Diorama, Fire Alarm definitely happened. Palace stuff. He got the disguise then went upstairs. item in the briefcase for sure, and the winch is very early on. And I ran out of a board to talk about, so a little bit chaotic start. Probably it is the harder of the two game modes, but we did get through it. It's just the fact that adminning these games probably is the hardest task in Hitman competitions right now, so I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, I don't know. In the kitchen, he definitely has 3 screwdrivers. So I could have been wrong on that, but either way, it didn't make a difference. It was the fireworks remote, which, again, he definitely still had in his inventory at the time, so.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any reaction there. Yeah, poor Nezuko was confused by the game mode, as were we, because we also thought it's non-lockout for a couple of minutes. I think also subconsciously because the first map of the tournament was a non-lockout Paris between Phenim and Linux. But it was lockout here, and it will be Berlin. It will be non...
Yes, and that will be the only lockout, potentially. I guess it's not really a spoiler to say that the decider will be non-lockout. I won't say what the map is, but if it does happen.
Yep, so we are back to lines, which... yeah, a little confusion in the chat there. But players are aware that the next map will be non-lockout.
Right, the round should be set. Hopefully I am finally back to actually watching the stream live with everyone else here.
Yeah, we're gonna be welcoming you here. Nezuko's Berlin pick, I think Nezuko is really, really good on Berlin, at least in roulette, so I'm curious to see how it translates to bingo.
And I think, I guess personally, I don't know, I think non-lockout Berlin, well, I don't know, it's kind of different in this tournament when you've got the half claim tiles, but at least in the first one, I always thought that non-lockout was a lot more difficult than lockout.
I suppose in a
Just
sense,
because
yeah.
you kind of have to, like, you're routing... For a lot of people, you don't really have to worry much about routing the target kills because you're just going to do, like, normal SA strats or whatever anyways. But you've kind of got to work the tiles in there as well. So if you're playing lockout as optimally as possible with this current rule set, it's probably about the same, but not always.
The 5 targets will be fairly shortly down. I don't want to give an estimate because I think it's less than a minute for some people, but most of the RTA players will be doing it in 2 to 3 minutes, most. But it's not the main emphasis of these runs. It will be about the tiles, some of which lines will bring you from the bottom floor of the club to the surface and to the bike areas, so there will be a lot of running if they choose such lines. Board is here in a couple seconds.
Also important to note on Berlin in particular that you can smuggle in your pistol anywhere you would like to. Just in the case of bringing a briefcase, you're not allowed to use the briefcase for anything, just because otherwise you're forced to only be able to use specific starts. Or one start, I guess I should say.
Yeah, players are not disallowed from using bus stop, but that would take some flex to do so.
Yeah, and I think maybe Nezuko isn't aware, or they just don't think they need the pistol, but I don't think they brought their silenced pistol with them.
I don't see anything on the minimap yet.
Yep.
But out of muscle memory, still went there. That's funny.
Yeah, radio tower being the only start where you can actually bring one just kind of made more sense to not force that on the players.
Yeah. The forest between radio tower and the club has some interesting tiles, like the poisonous mushroom and probably a few more, but For non-lockout, those are the tiles to be avoided.
Yeah, we can see we're already in it here. I mean, TK's got the Astral Graffiti, as well as Club Security, 2 pretty free tiles. Not the biggest deal that he got them immediately, considering this is non-lockout. But Nezuko skipping out on those, claiming those tiles, because there's nothing stopping him from doing so. Hopefully, if that's a line he plans on going for, that he actually remembers to do that later.
Yeah, there's no official rule to not wait on the tiles, but it's a courtesy sportsmanship rule too. Please don't take 3 minutes until or between claiming those tiles. Helps us, especially the admins. So no graffiti for Nezuko, but club security is a good start for that second column.
Seeing, looked like he wanted to go for a fuse box there. I don't see a fuse box anywhere on this board, but it is a Berlin tile.
I have a sneaking suspicion that he thinks that break open both boxes with a crowbar is something that is related to this. Because he did break open something.
I guess maybe I should have said wooden boxes. I don't remember what the hitmap's terminology is. However, like a year ago, when I was working on Berlin.
True. Yeah, I guess we'll see. The closest other fuse box is still very far away, so don't think it will be a problem. And that's finally killing Agent Thames for his 4th kill.
Nezuko was looking to get a 3-shot there, and I think he just kind of realized that, oh, he's standing right next to a motorcycle. I can just kill him now. But yeah, we see him shoot that bag of bricks seemingly out of nowhere. That gets him his 2nd one to be able to claim that tile. And TK looks like he's getting ready here to wrap up all of his target kills. Same for Nezuko on Lowenthal.
The longest lure in Season 3, Lowenthal is going all the way around because of that throne distraction. I don't think... Oh, it's a different item, so... Delivery guy will be reacting. He will be hidden in time before Lowenthal arrives. He's now through that passage. Don't waste a lot of time there.
Yeah, you definitely want to avoid him spotting you and yelling, because there's a lot of people right around there. Oh, well.
That's just happened, but...
Gotta box the body quickly there.
Looks like you're good on the dots on the minimap, and the only thing that will be running is the 5 other agents. Nobody's
I guess
by them.
In terms of tiles, obviously our players are taking care of their targets here pretty quickly, but for the tiles, all we can really tell is that TK looks like he's going to be going for the top row at the moment. Plenty of options for fire extinguishers. The muffin is by the free club crew disguise in like the coat check area, so may not know where that is, or maybe he just didn't grab it just because of timings and that sort of thing. But so he'll need that, and blend in his biker. There's a couple different spots you can look for there. And then we've got Nezuko is looking at column 2 and row 4. So I think probably 2 birds' eggs is going to be the biggest issue for that potentially.
I was thinking at the 5th column for a second, but bartender and serve someone poison drink, they do connect somewhat, but still a big check there, so I'm not sure if TK would be going for that one. All columns are, of course, options for TK.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know where all of the bird's egg locations are. I don't think I've picked up more than one of them before. I know it's useful for like the Easter egg or whatever. But looking at other than that, cocaine bricks, there's a couple here that TK just picked up. There's one in Rolf's safe. There's also a gold idol in Rolf's safe. And that cocaine will probably be going into the fan. So there's a couple there that you can get at the same time. And then there's also a gold idol in one of the boxes that are part of the crowbar tile. So hopefully Nezuko doesn't miss that one, as we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, another tile that has been claimed by both of them is the fire extinguisher, which Nezuko just finishes, and for him it's more likely now that the 5th column will be an option. Of course, diagonals are also in play. Just not sure how viable they are. Drop the concrete pipe manually, that's a long one. Right in the middle.
TK looks like he's working on getting some faucets taken care of. Only one needed for that tile, so he would be able to claim that now. And then maybe, based on his map, he's looking at the muffin here, which is going to be right around this laptop.
It's almost as if he used the faucet to distract one of the NPCs and care a lot about the tile, but now he's claiming it.
He does actually need to knock someone down with that in order for that tile to be valid, so I may need to unclaim that for him, but there is only one on the map, so hopefully he doesn't waste it.
Make it count. If it's a silent attack and it pacifies the NPC, then sadly...
I guess since he didn't do it in a few seconds after I saw it, then I will go ahead and unmark it now.
Yeah, it's a nice catch there. Which means now both players have been on their own adventure with a claimed tile, which...
Yeah, looks like the issue with unclaiming for players is also a non-lockout, so I'll just open his link.
Just physically taking TK47's arm to click on that tile again.
Yeah, I actually have a remote link set up with his PC right now, so I just went ahead and took care of that for him.
The dedication of it. Nezuko has been waiting in the bike area a little, I think, for some NPC movements or just thinking out what to do, but...
And he's had that shovel for quite a long time. I'm ready for someone to get pacified.
Surely.
So he's got yellow guns now. Unlike the first tournament, that's not going to, I guess, prevent him from being able to claim tiles here.
And he's going to use those yellow guns as much as possible. Insecticide is not a tile on my end.
It is, yeah. It's,
oh, TK. Oh, that's not knocking down, that's knocking out.
That's a rip.
And that's TK's whole game plan there to go the first row with the only muffin.
I guess there's not... It's not really a thing to, like, tell players that their run is invalid at this point. Like, this is the only muffin on the entire map. You can't finish the board anymore.
Just bring up the 156th admin message template, which is exactly covering this issue.
I'm DMing him about it, but...
And TK is basically at the exit, but he did not knock someone down with the muffin, and I was hoping that TK wouldn't exit, but...
I mean, realistically, it doesn't really matter if he exits or not. He can't do the tile, so but the only way he'd be able to do it... Oh, he could do a different line, I guess it's true.
He would be on one line. Instead, now he restarts, and Nezuko goes back to the menu. He has no reason to do so. Is that a stream snipe?
I get...
What is this, though?
I guess it could be. I mean, he did finish 2 lines, but he did finish 2 lines like a minute ago or something like that. At least it was when he claimed the tiles.
I mean, this is kind of an awful situation here, but the tile is...
I mean, I guess I'll manually clear the board for both players, but we don't have a winner at the moment because neither player has done anything and they both restarted, so none of their tile claims actually count. I guess it's kind of unfortunate that it could be like an English language thing with TK, and he's very angry at me in his DMs right now, so this is a great time.
Yeah, that's what you like to do here, combine the happenings of the last hour. And also to continue, like, Nezuko is planning to forfeit. Okay, I redacted the stream sniping part, because of course in bingo you do see where your opponent has or is. So of course Nezuko thought that TK would be finishing there. Now that's just a little unfortunate. TK will be playing again and Nezuko is loading back in, so we are restarting there. But luckily it doesn't cost anyone anything. We're back to even in terms of scores. TK has had a really nice route going.
I guess there's nothing really else for me to say to TK.
I don't envy you.
Yeah, I don't know. He ended up going back in, so I mean, I said what I needed to say, and then just kind of let the other messages go.
But for clarity, I guess I'm gonna ask Chad, because of course we did work on these tiles. We exactly know what these are. These should mean, and knocking someone down is the action in which you. I don't know how to put this in another way though. Like,
I mean, I don't know
We could not have stacked the deck more in our favor, and still.
the apricot. You can't even knock people down with, can you? So I think every knockdown item can also be a pacification item.
Because it can be done silently.
Levels of ability. Yeah, because like the banana, when you use it, it doesn't actually break, but like the muffin and maybe the cheeseburger do.
See, then I'm thinking if I were to say throw a muffin at someone's head, which is Pidgey's idea, would that mean like would players try to do it with a pacified item? Yeah. So if there's better naming there, you of course always appreciate it, and these kind of things can be changed during tournament because it's
I guess the reason for the tiles existing was just to have I guess it's something to be something more than just collect X for, you know, we've got so many of those tiles. It was just kind of to have something interesting. It creates like small panic, so that could also be something to consider.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 tiles each on their second attempts. TK will be hoping to get this falling object there. If he finds the right part of the crane. And that wasn't lethal, so you have to do another agent. Nezuko will be getting his second kill, body shots first, and then the headshot there. For Nezuko, it's hard to say what lines he might be going for in the future, because he didn't have full lines going on. For TK, it's the first column and the first row. I don't think he will be changing that. And that's...
Yeah, I don't know what to do at this point.
Agent Lowenthal, please report.
I tried to be speechless as rarely as possible, but is this now out of spite? Or just that language barrier? Of course, TK is on the French overlay, French UI.
Yeah, I know he's from Tunisia, or at least that's the flag that he uses. I don't even know what the official languages are, or I mean, I know that English isn't like the main language that he uses, so that could be it, or it could just be confusion with the naming convention for the tiles.
But if it has been mentioned in one run and he reluctantly or begrudgingly restarted, then it can't really... That is the goal of the whole tile, to not pacify someone with that item, but rather cause that mini panic that you mentioned. And I imagined that it would work and that it would be understood for everyone, but well, on this run, Nezuko is doing significantly better. Security biker has been done easily, the fire extinguisher early on.
I love my job.
Bartender and the poison drink was both done at the beginning, and I will be focusing extra heavily on Nezuko as long as you probably need to do something with the other player.
A simple okay is the only response I have anymore, so.
Well, it's also good. Could be worse, I guess. So Nezuko is missing the muffin, the gasoline drum, and the Astra graffiti if he were to go for the first line and the first row in the last column. Hey Fuchsia, appreciate the raid. Welcome to this very interesting second map of Hitman Bingo 2.
I'm still receiving messages, but at this point I'm not going to be responding to them because they're not related to the actual gameplay, so that's where the pause is coming from.
Yeah, I received a message as well, actually asking if it's knockout, but it's not a knockout, it's knocking someone down. And here's the confirmation that it's throwing at head.
So Nezuko is pretty close to ripping there. I haven't seen some of these tiles because I've been dealing with other things, but I have seen him get, I think, all of these tiles in a previous run, so I'm not really doubting that he at least knows how to get the tiles. Pidgey as well saying those are fair. So he's got 3 out of 5 targets at this point.
You know what would be funny if we had the
He's
same
doing 3
situation.
lines. Yeah, sort of.
I'm kind of hoping that he won't go for the first row now, or that the
Yeah,
muffin will be done easily.
We didn't see 2 full, I don't know, I guess it wasn't shaping out to be 2 full lines and during the first run.
No, not really.
Because there was a lot of tiles that he kind of passively got just on his way around the map and then claimed those just in case he needed them. So he can either get some hobby knives, which are plentiful on this map, and trigger the DJ booth. Notably, you don't actually have to do any of the sabotaging to be able to trigger that. It's just that it won't get the target kill otherwise. And then obviously the muffin and the graffiti.
And you have the DJs in the booth, but you don't actually need the DJ disguise. It's a suspicious action in any other disguise, but
Yes.
it's not a problem to do.
Yeah, and I think the fact, obviously in the first run, it's very easy to miss something. You know, a lot of times in Bingo, you want to load in as soon as the thing goes live. Not as much in Non-Lockout, but try to like work out what you're going to do as you're in the middle of doing it. But I think having not claimed the graffiti on this follow-up run, he's going to be doing row 2.
I think he just needs the hobby knife from nearby. He also needs one more agent, and nice awareness there. The Chamberlain is nearby. It's no other guards, so it's a simple chain to finish it off.
unlike sometimes with Montgomery, he won't randomly enforce to civilians sometimes, so
Report. Are you
very
there?
easy to grab this kill here, and then he doesn't really have anything left to do that would generate any sort of panic, so it doesn't even really need to hide this if he doesn't want to. There's a hobby knife up here at the top of this ladder. I'm not sure if he has one yet already. He does, so that's his second.
Weapon HUD to the rescue. I think that's the name of it at least. So now it's just the hype up, and once Trigger Climax shows up, he can leave. Of course, it's another up for interpretation, because we always go by what the prompt is. Nice for Nezuko to wait out some hype there, but didn't need to, and sub 10-second run after a bit of a chaos and uncertainty with Deep Berlin.
I guess the naming conventions kind of fell behind a little bit, since a lot of these were pulled from the board I made for Bingo a while ago, at which point I didn't care nearly as much about naming conventions as I do now with these official RTA tournaments.
Get your asses in gear, man. How hard can it be?
But yeah.
It's hard because I still stand by the knock someone down with the muffin tile, for example, because it follows our own conventions, and if one were to take a look at the other maps, then it's still the same, and you can compare it with the pacify tiles, or I'm sure we have some generic throw items, but this is what we want there, to use the muffin to get down, and he can get the 5th agent kill, but of course not the map.
To be fair, I did on the first run where exiting actually precluded him from getting any other lines. I did unmark that tile like 3 times before he exited. But yeah, it is definitely something to look out, or to look at, sorry, for the next couple matches.
Something to look out.
So true. We're going into non-lockout though for map 3, which is actually going to be Dartmoor.
Are you still alive? Are you still here, Joker?
The Joker J special, we're going to Dartmoor. Non-lockout as well. Dartmoor is a super small map, so lockout can kind of be crazy. But yeah, he was actually hibernating for a little bit.
Yeah, but Adam, that's the thing. It's not a KO tile. I cannot be more straight about this one. It's not knockout, it's knockdown.
Yeah, what I actually said was it's not pacify, because it's, I guess, more important that the wording is like even more distinct than that.
And it also says throw, right? It did say throw the muffin, and it wasn't throw. It's the basics of Hitman contracts, that there are the 2 types of melees. The melee, the silent attacks, and the throws. And we were looking for the throw. Oh, it's not knock someone down, okay. So there's that part, but you can only do it one way.
I mean, it's not like I don't feel bad about it, because obviously it was kind of just a wording not inconsistency, but confusion, and also might be an English language thing, but let's see, let's do 05 as an even number.
As in, what do you mean? It's 3 minutes and something from now.
Yes, since I've had a bit of time of talking here while I write up this post, because we were kind of busy in the middle of it. I will start a new round. No time limit decider here for Dartmoor. I did say Dartmoor, right? Okay. Yeah, this has been the most back and forth I've had in terms of tabs for these matches. So with the co-casting and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little bit longer to get through everything.
It's a really difficult task to be on both of these, on the top of all of these, both players and all that kind of stuff. So it can't really be expected for the admin to send messages during actual runs, because then he will miss out on the other player's run. I think it's more than enough information. The tile was removed.
Which I have been doing some of, to be fair.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't half watch bingo as an admin like you might be able to for something like roulette, where there's only, you know, kind of 4 conditions that you're fulfilling. Let's see, I think everything's ready to send this board. Yeah, looks good to me. Everything on the board looks like it's...
Are you checking the legal and illegal tiles? Imagine if we had that. Banned condition list.
I don't know, I'm always like paranoid that like something's gonna mess up with me like pasting it and there's gonna be one tile that just doesn't exist or something, so I just look over all of them.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, we're going to Dartmoor in just about a minute. Again, that is no time limit. And as it is our decider, this is first to 3 points. So in the event of a tie, it would both be winning, so that's why we got no time limit.
And this is what I like to say for other tournaments, although I'm not sure what the rule is there, but it has to end in Dartmoor. If this were somehow the first photo finish, let alone the first photo finish tie, then we still need a winner here. So if it's close enough, then we'll have another board, but chances of that are astronomically low. And now that I said that, I think we're going to be here for a couple of hours.
Nezuko is showing off how to complete the spin with the Sassor Ace complication. Where you simply kill everyone on the map, including your targets.
That's nice. 5 more seconds until...
We'll have Joker in the chat to evaluate this board for us, because I have not played a ton of Dartmoor Bingo besides the playtesting I did at the start for it, and I have no board.
Okay, so it's the second time
Yeah.
the board didn't appear, and it's the second decider the board doesn't appear.
Yeah, so all Curry said before was that there was some issue with the server receiving the board, but I don't know what... Because I haven't done anything different in any of these. And in fact, earlier, when I tested a new round by having it send instantly, it was the exact same paste from my clipboard. So I do not know. It might be something that I'm doing wrong. It might be something that needs to be fixed. Who knows? I'm gonna have to delay that again. And I don't know. It didn't have to do with the unmarking tiles this time, so
It was a wrong
just
diagnosis, but I mean, it seemed very obvious that the error
it just
would be...
like instantly marks the round as finished. So there's no score change, but the board doesn't appear because it thinks the round is over.
Just going to chat with the players in the meantime as you're figuring it out, so players are aware of the situation. I think if it's anything similar to my match with Mary, then we will have a board in a couple of minutes. Just it will take one more try.
I'll just set that for 2 minutes from now. It wasn't the... Yeah, I don't know. Because doing it earlier, it was, I mean, the exact same... I guess the time for the round start was different, but everything else was exactly the same. So we will have a minute and a half. I guess maybe it just doesn't like round threes. I don't know. But for now, it's the same exact board because
It just didn't appear.
It wasn't seen by anyone.
Yeah. Dartmoor, surprisingly, one of the most varied maps in terms of tiles. I'm seeing 120 for Haven Island, 107 for Scale, 103 for Ambrose, 107 for Santa. So I think it's the fifth, number 5, Dartmoor with 94 tiles. So lots can happen. It's of course a big mansion, lots of items and interactions, but will they be needing to venture outside, which was a hot topic brought up by Joker between the matches. Can it be done with mentioning?
In a moment. Please? Please? Oh, okay. There it is. Let's go. All right, Infer, would you like to read out the entire board for us?
It's even funnier the second time.
But yeah, this was. I've already run this board in my head 10 times now because I saw it about 10 minutes ago. So Chad's
So,
already out on this one.
shamelessly going to steal Joker's comments then and talk about the fourth column, which is the cleaver, the mentioned floor plan. Bag of sugar from near the cleaver, the few cells are bottom floor, so easy, and the pool ball also near, I don't know his name, the young Carlisle boy.
Patrick, I think, is
Yes,
the
Patrick.
little one.
Nice.
The little one. I don't know why I said that. The youngest one. Young Patrick, as Gregory says it.
Oh, that's true. At the mentioned floor plan, would it be in the hidden passage near Zachary's room?
It's in a hidden passage. And I think it is on the first. Well, I don't think there's any hidden passage on the bottom floor, but I think it is on the. I don't know, first floor, second floor, depends on what country you're in, I guess. The
Yeah,
one above the bottom floor.
I'm just nervous looking at heat maps to see what L that means, L2, L1.
I did. It was on the bingo board that Joker posted yesterday, so I did look that up again yesterday.
Oh, TK is running out of time to shoot the Shandy, and Alexa's moving now, and I think she will.
Yeah, and you get an NTK after that from the guard as well. It's just the phone call that she has with Yates. It lasts a lot less time if you're not there to proximity trigger it, so you've only got like 10, 15 seconds. And the console aim strikes there.
Ooh, and
I'm not sure what. I mean, it seems like Nezuko would be doing this to KO Rebecca.
yep, he needs her token.
Because
Well,
I mean, obviously that's part of the objective, but I don't think he would be using it just to get through that room because I don't think you could really ever get spotted that doing that from those two at least.
for me, it feels that he defaulted to the Sasso route, or one of the earlier Sasso routes, where you may even go fast forward. I hope that's not the case, but Rebecca's token, then the Butler's token, then Alexa. But Nezuko with a replan and not going for the
I'm
token.
always really worried about the female mansion staff that's right outside that has like her very like slight wall hacks.
That's true.
But obviously doing that without Tranks, maybe if you can get her far enough into the room, then you're not gonna have any problems there. I honestly don't know. But Nezuko's got a mansion security, which is ironically not allowed in the vast majority of the mansion.
Yep, he secures the mansion from the outside.
Or maybe it's just security guard. I don't know. But so we see TK. He's just grabbed himself a barber razor.
That is
So
the only barber razor in. Yeah.
Claim that.
Well, if he doesn't need it.
I haven't really seen any tiles claimed. There's a bag of sugar for Nezuko, which is instantly claimed.
And the cleaver. So there's the Joker information. And then we'll see if Roast 5 will happen as well.
If it is the secret passage that's in Zachary's room, it'd be, I guess, easier than some of the other secret rooms to be able to get into.
And TK has both objectives down. GG and congratulations. Just the formality of 9 or 10 tiles are remaining. Ooh, Nezuko using the loud shotgun to get in there, and it's a half-burned diary, which is nicely claimed in the bottom row.
Might be going with row 5, I think is what Joker said earlier. Since you've got that overlapping tile as well on top of everything else.
And Nezuko got...
I think I saw him grab an apricot out of the kitchen as well when he was there.
I was going to say that, yeah.
He was going to try that propane. I'm very unsure about that, especially with how it landed.
That's an ambitious throw, yeah. Ambitious skill as well.
As I'm sure everyone's seen a million times in contracts and maybe escalations. Gregory sits right next to where she was just standing forever, so it's pretty easy to get a non-target kill.
Nezuko will be getting a non-trespassing disguise at least. The bodyguard may not be a tile. And then I immediately go and check all 25 possibilities, but we'll give him lots more access.
Yeah, and that'll make it a lot easier for things like the pool ball, especially. And the fuse cells, I know of. I know where 2 of them are, but I'm assuming since I said 2 and not both, there's more than 2.
That's a good question. TK is so close to getting
Yeah,
spotted there. Nice last
that
second
was a
corner subdue.
crazy corner subdue animation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there are only 2 fuse cells, but because you said 2 and not both, and you did these maps, it's all your responsibility.
Yeah, my responsibility when I was on like 0 hours of sleep. I guess I loosely trust myself that I wouldn't have messed that up. But we'll see. There's 1.
And the
They
other
do appear in
one,
the inventory, so we'll be able to see that second one grabbed.
it's in the utility room if Nezuko were to continue straight ahead. But
TK is looking for a photographer grab here, which will get him another tile into column 1. Obviously behind on tiles by a decent margin, but far more work done in the objectives department. He's done with those, and Nezuko has nothing so far.
yeah, Nezuko will be taking some time to eliminate Alexa because his best chance is still the propane, which won't be without risk. He gets the second fuse cell, and just the upstairs floor mansion plan is missing from the full 4th column. And then 2 more tiles than the objectives. As for TK's tiles, the boat key is I think in here, and then the
Yes,
distillation kit.
Yeah. So he's got hopefully a wrench if he plans on doing that. He's already collected a poisonous emetic flower. You can see it there outlined. So that'll be another one there. That'll get him pretty much 3 tiles in this greenhouse. It is a good amount out of the way, but he's already done with his objectives. And there is an exit right here, so it's a question of how quickly he's able to do everything else.
There's the wrench. And we know that he has 2 more tiles than what he has on the board. During the animation, he can claim 1, 2.
It did take him quite a while to grab the barber razor tile, but he did get that eventually.
And as of just half an hour ago or an hour ago, we now know that it's a lethal poison jar. Or
thankfully, both of those tiles aren't on the board.
Oh my god, I would have a meltdown.
I think it's lethal poison pill jar versus lethal poison vial.
There we go, perfect.
And I didn't even know that there was... I didn't even know that that was called that until I probably Joker said it, because it doesn't appear on hit maps. Because it's obviously something you have to make.
So, TK with the nice apricot adventure needs first 2 apricots. I think there's only 1 next to the kitchen, so no, there should be 1 in the kitchen too, so
I know there's definitely more than 1, because I thought about making it a collect tile, and maybe I even did, I don't remember, but I don't think I did.
The apricots?
Yeah.
Well, it is a tile to collect 2 apricots.
This is what I'm saying, maybe I did.
Yeah. I think if you do both...
Oh, it's on the board too. That's cool.
Yeah, no worries. And the cleaver will give him row 1, column 4.
I'm glad we've had a very nice Dartmoor up to this point, but I'm still very out of it after that Berlin.
I mean, that's hard to recover from, for everyone, of course. Back and forth for sure. Nezuko still cannot find a way to eliminate Alexa. He now has all the tiles.
I think there is exactly 2 apricots, so he's collected a second one. but they weren't super far apart in my memory, so I just opted to make that. You
Oh,
did collect both of them before going for the well, and what, anyone else just see that on
okay, what is
Nezuko's screen?
happening though? Like, what makes Patrick go in that room? And why does that happen at 7:50 after fast forward? I don't think anyone has ever been in that situation.
I think it has to do with the meeting.
I guess.
Um,
And a couple conversation.
after the meeting, perhaps.
That's
Because
good to
obviously
know.
we saw that Nezuko did have at least part of the meeting, because we saw Alexa where she was when he tried to throw the propane at her. In the living room or whatever it's called. The great room.
Yeah, that was funny. And of course, while that happened, TK was on 7 tiles, and the last 2 were fittingly throw an apricot in the well and throw a coin in the well.
But yeah, I mean,
Right.
we see green guns there. I did see the last few of those tiles were all good. Thankfully, he did collect both of the apricots before he tried to throw one into the well.
Oh, don't tell me about it. Like, it's just gonna give me
Yeah.
like PTSD after this. This game can be broken very easily in many ways, so please don't do that. And if anything is unsure, just discuss it.
Yeah, that will be a 4-2 win for TK, and then after I finish typing out their message so that Nezuko knows, I will update our tournament page.
Oh, that's right. We have one of those as well. Just catching up on chat as well. No
I
worries.
did forget in the first match, but not since then.
Alright, let me know when
There's,
it's.
you don't want to know how many tabs I have open.
I could
Just for this, just for the match. I mean, not in general.
I worry it's more than 6, 7.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. So that'll be a 4-2 win for Adam, and should be in tournament now.
Moment of truth. The great stinger from Gunther again. And sadly, tournament is just aborted, but now we have the update there. TK47 will play myself in round 2, so that's the last quarter for the completed.
Yeah, and I expect that to be scheduled within 1 to 2 business hours.
And just as you say, the next
You wanna
message in the chat.
And obviously, since we've got the winners bracket, that means we've also got the lowers bracket against Maddie Spice, which was earlier today.
Yeah, that's
We're scheduling the match in chat now.
I won't be making any comments on that at this hour. Maddie Spice versus Nezuko is one match in the lower bracket, and Linux Prangbin is waiting for the loser of Crudy versus Pijaro, and then of course 3 more matches to play after in round 1. But it's a really nice and busy start. Won't say smooth start, but 3 matches still on this first day. Very nice to see the excitement and the proactivity in terms of scheduling. And as far as the upcoming matches go, there's only... Oh, I guess the losers bracket matches won't even show up here as potential, but we have 4 scheduled. All the remaining 4 matches from round 1. We will hope that 420 versus Yoshi will be held at some point in the future, but the next match for sure is Yanini versus Mika tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. CET. So that's 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and I hear your noises already.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be asking that one.
No worries, we can take care of it.
I like to get some of my work done in the morning, and I don't.
You want to do
push all
something
that back.
other than bingo, which I can understand.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Any thoughts on the match?
It was I would say overall it was a great match. There was definitely very close moments, I guess, in Dartmoor, with the difference between approaching the objectives versus approaching the tiles. That was cool to see. And then on Paris, I don't know, do you have any comments? I didn't see a lot of the middle of it.
Nah, it was a little chaotic start, but I think that will always happen if someone's first experience in a tournament is lockout, but was handled fairly well by both players, and I don't think we've seen a restart there, so solid plays by both, and looking forward to seeing both of them in the tournament. But that should be it from us today, for the entirety of today, because the next match is tomorrow. Thank you everyone for watching, and thanks again Chris for joining me on the co-cast as well as adminning this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always great pleasure, and I think we're gonna wrap it here indeed, and gonna continue with some Sasso roulette action by Chromax. See you everyone!